What to do with you.
Hey guys, Kiwi here, warning of spoilers for Breaking Bad, El Camino, and Better Call Saul up to Season 6, Episode 7. In this video, I'll be breaking down and discussing the newest teaser trailer for Episode 608 that released today on social media. Like the video if you end up enjoying it, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Twitter for more Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad updates. If you really enjoy what I do here, support me through Patreon or give back to the channel by clicking the Super Thanks button under the video. With that being said, let's jump into the breakdown.
Hey, relax. Sit down. We're just gonna talk.
So the teaser shows the Superlab location pretty much in the same state as it was when we saw Gus hide a gun there in episode 605. We hear dialogue saying, "Now, what to do with you?" as all the lights shut off. There's been debate in the replies to this teaser on whether this is Lalo or Mike speaking. My initial thought was Lalo, but it does kinda sound like Mike too if you force your brain to picture him.
Now, what to do with you.
I'm gonna go ahead and assume this is Lalo, but why does he sound like he has the upper hand here? I'm guessing that he's talking to either Gus or Mike in this moment, but how did they end up in this situation? Does Lalo have one or both of them at gunpoint down in the Superlab? How could this situation even come to fruition considering all of Gus's bodyguards, along with the fact that Gus is now hiding in his safe house due to knowing that Lalo is in fact still alive? Episodes 605 to 607 led viewers to believe that the mid-season finale would end with a Lalo-Gus standoff confrontation down in the Superlab, but they subverted our expectations by having Lalo show up at Kim's apartment instead to talk, along with killing Howard. I do believe that Gus planting that gun in the Superlab will have some sort of meaning that will come to fruition, as they wouldn't have just thrown that scene in there if it was just a red herring to throw us off. Everything in Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad does have meaning, and everything on screen is intentional. A classic Chekhov's gun moment for sure, but how will it all tie in? And why was Gus messing with the lights along with counting his steps away from the gun? One obvious prediction that we've had since episode 605 was that Gus would lure him down there, shut off the lights, and shoot him, and then finish building the Superlab with Lalo's body underneath the cement. Although this could work, I have some nitpicks with it, particularly shooting Lalo in the dark. Now it's hard to shoot someone in the dark, and that is hearsay, but another issue I have is the fact that we've never actually seen Gus use a gun in Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. Now yes, we've seen him kill people such as Arturo or Victor, but he always does so with his hands in a brutal fashion that's usually meant to intimidate someone else. With Arturo, it was for Nacho, and with Victor, it was for Walt and Jesse. If Gus just wants someone killed, that's what he has hitman for, such as Mike, Tyrus, or any of his other men that he has hired. Will Gus really kill Lalo on his own and with a gun, or will he have someone else do it? Is the gun that he planted in the Superlab to use against Lalo his main plan, or just a backup plan? I'm still so curious how they end up in this same predicted situation even after everything changed in episode 607 due to Lalo confirming that he was alive, along with Lalo deciding to go to Jimmy and Kim's instead of attacking the laundry that night. Considering the teaser, I suppose we will have a Lalo-Gus confrontation in the Superlab, assuming that this teaser isn't trailer trickery. Now I'm assuming that this dialogue happens during this scene, but what if it's dialogue from a different moment in the episode cut and edited to go with this teaser? I've seen some wild theories that Lalo could actually be talking to Howard's body, asking theoretically what they're going to do with the body. AMC has been known for this sort of trailer trickery in the past, especially with other shows, but I'm not sure if AMC creates all the trailers and decides what to release, or if the show creators have some say in that regard as well. But taking this trailer at face value, we can assume that Lalo ends up in the Superlab, but how? With most of Mike and Gus's men waiting at Gus's house, will Lalo take advantage of this and break into the laundromat? Mike did tell Gus in 607 that he had guys still at the laundry, but presumably not as much, as most of their men are at Gus's house while Gus waits in his safe house next door.
I pulled guys off all the low priority targets to cover you. The laundry. Tyrus is there with his crew.
That being said, does this teaser happen the same night as the 607 cliffhanger? Does Lalo immediately go to the laundry after speaking to Jimmy and Kim? I'd assume that he'd get some sort of new lead from Jimmy and Kim and not just go back to plan A before he became compromised. Will Lalo speaking to Jimmy and Kim prove to be a dead end, or will they give Lalo some new outlook on how to handle the Superlab? But Jimmy and Kim don't know anything about the Superlab, so what could they possibly tell him? Jimmy and Kim need to give Lalo enough information to make him happy and get him off their back, but also provide a reason as to why why they're potentially useful enough in the future to be worth keeping alive, instead of just killing them alongside Howard even after giving Lalo information. And we know that Jimmy has plot armor due to obviously being in Breaking Bad, but Kim doesn't, although I can't see him killing Kim and keeping Jimmy alive. Plus, I don't think that Kim's going to die because Jimmy would be way too depressed from this to become the Saul Goodman that's so cheery in Breaking Bad. But even with that being said, I do have to admit that I do have some anxiety that Lalo could possibly kill Kim. Now, will Jimmy and Kim just use Nacho as a fall guy, or something else, such as how there's now public information on the fact that Lalo's supposed to be dead? Or could they reveal to Lalo that they've been in contact with Mike? If so, Lalo could use Jimmy and Kim to get to Mike to get to Gus, as we've previously predicted. Lalo's original plan was to infiltrate the Superlab in 607 until he realized it was a trap and that they were preemptively waiting for him to strike due to accidentally revealing that he was still alive with the tapped phones at Hector's old folks' home, Casa Tranquila. It would be kinda odd for Lalo to realize that his original plans of infiltrating the Superlab location were compromised just to turn around and go do it anyways. What changes Lalo's mind to go back to the laundromat? Also, does he do this immediately after seeing Jimmy and Kim, or the next day, or is there a time skip? Gus and Mike obviously now have confirmation that Lalo is alive, so I'll doubt that they'll let up on security. However, if Lalo doesn't attack either Gus's house or the laundry that night of the 607 cliffhanger, then they'll know that it was a misdirect or that Lalo changed his mind, to say the least. Will they think that Lalo was tipped off? Will Gus stay hidden in his safe house with security, or could they somehow let their guard down? How could Lalo possibly lure Gus to the laundry? Now, as I said, there could possibly be less guards at the laundry than beforehand due to most of them protecting Gus at his home. Could Lalo kill everyone there and lure Gus out, possibly with the help of Mike through Jimmy and Kim? Maybe Lalo does go to the laundromat afterwards, luring Mike and Gus there. But we know that Mike said that Tyrus was there at the laundry with his men, so if Lalo goes in there, he can't kill everyone due to Tyrus obviously still being alive in Breaking Bad. He could possibly take Tyrus hostage, but I don't think that Gus would care enough to risk his life over it. This teaser is purposely ambiguous, which I like as it doesn't give much away, and at the same time it raises so many questions that I can't wait to get the answer to. One thing I will say though is that if Lalo does have a standoff with Mike and or Gus, we know that both Gus and Mike will survive into Breaking Bad, so they have that plot armor, so it might not be as intense as it could be if they were original Better Call Saul characters. But also keep in mind that episodes such as Bagman are still amazing. Even though we know that Jimmy and Mike were going to survive into Breaking Bad, it was still a great episode nonetheless, so even if these Breaking Bad characters do have plot armor, they can still make a really good episode with it. Leave any thoughts in the comments below, but be wary of spoilers. There was an early screening of episode 608, and I've been told that spoilers are out there, so
Tread lightly.
while on social media for the next few weeks. I'd appreciate a like on the video if you've enjoyed anything that I've said today, and if you're new to the channel or just haven't yet already, subscribe and hit that bell notification to stay updated on when I post new content on Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. Check out my Patreon or give a super thanks to help support the channel financially. But most importantly, I thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out!